became interested in evolution when I read a book called The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. A lot of the questions that I had about the meaning of life were answered. I became addicted, hooked on it. In the top 5 characteristics people are looking for in opposite sex mates, in every culture that I know of, sense of humor is in the top 5. And often it's even higher than physical attractiveness. That tends to be a hallmark of an evolutionary trait, of an adaptive trait. So I did a couple studies on it. I took people into a room and played them this comedian. He's on HBO, his name's Bill Burr. Bill Burr has a joke. He's talking to his girlfriend.
She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some reason you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay.
A lot of people either love him or hate him. I wanted someone like that to get a reaction. And I filmed them and recorded facial expressions. Laughter is really hard to fake. Then the other part of it was to give them implicit preferences test. It turns out that people who associated career with men and family and children with women laughed more at the jokes about women. I can lie to you about what I like, but when you laugh, you're identifying your real preferences. Essentially, you're saying, yeah, we're part of the same group. We're members of the same tribe. That would account for why it's so important in mate selection, up there with physical attractiveness, being nice, sense of humor. If I was gonna write about humor and I was gonna study it, I felt like I'd be a little bit of a fraud if I couldn't actually do it.
How you doing? How's it going?
Good. So there's these things called open mics, which anyone can go to. I went up and just bombed.
I don't know about you, I'm a big fan of to-do lists.
I was just terrified.
I used to have lists like, write 1 chapter in my dissertation.
Later I realized, man, that was awesome. I can do anything now. So I went to a few of those and it worked out to some extent. I've got 15 minutes of material that works, consistently works.
Give it up for Robert Lynch! How's it going?
I would actually use the results of my work. The thing I would look for would be this idea of jokes are used to identify in-groups. And I've only done stand-up in New York. So New York jokes.
So you guys all hear about these subway cars? They're dropping off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. And they're making these coral reefs out of them.
I know those are gonna work better because everyone goes, yeah, we're on the same, right, we both live in New York, yeah.
Calcium carbonate levels are at all-time highs. It's just working out great. There's only a couple problems. And one is that in comparison to the neighboring reefs, the stabbing rates are like 300% higher in these areas.
What I've learned is that there's some connection between truth and humor. You hear the expression, it's funny because it's true. It's kind of like this, in some ways, revealing the elephant in the living room.
Robert